Okay, guys. So it's that thing that Judine was just talking about, technology and all of its many issues and dilemmas. So I am backlogged on, and thank you guys for relogging on. Like I had to. Let me just say this: AT&T, I'm gonna need a refund this month, okay? Because okay. Um, Okay, well, thank you guys for welcoming us back and logging back on. And I just had a little miniature breakdown just now. I'm really upset with AT&T.
Honey, don't let the
Okay,
devil steal your joy.
thank you for that. And this is a prime example of the importance of being resilient and the importance of pulling it back together when things fall apart. And that's what's important. Like not necessarily how we win, but how we bounce back when we don't win. Okay. So I was gonna ask you, Judine,
Hmm.
how you got into the arts. Like how old were you? How did you get into theater? And what was your inspiration or who was your inspiration?
So I started performing like at a very young age. I would say around like first grade, but probably even before that, right? Like in nursery, like with the music. My brothers were a lot older than I was. So music was always in the house, right? So
Mm.
as I started, you know, bopping around, so to speak, I my next door neighbor where I we moved to when I was 6 was a part of a dance company. So she taught me all of the steps and the routines subsequently. And then my mother allowed me to join the dance company. And when joined the dance company, I knew a lot of the steps already. The teacher put me in front, which boosted my confidence. And like they say, the rest is history. I kept hustling, hustling, hustling. Um, you know, the entire time because I loved what I did. And I guess I had that energy that people talk about very early on when it came to dance. So I started like really taking advantage of everything. Like, when we learn something or, I would always like go the extra mile just as a kid, guys, we should really be good because we never know who is going to discover us. We should be on that's me. And we're like, what, maybe, 14 at the Club Serene in Brooklyn, New York, at a club waiting to
Wow.
go on at 12 o'clock to perform. Guys, you never know who's going to be there. That's me. So that energy and like the will for everybody to do good, not just myself, but me. And I always share the information. I always share what I had with people. Never had that, that's yours, you're mine. Never had that. Somebody wanted like a Ricola at the audition and I had two, I would give them one. Bobby pin, things like that. So, the whole dance vibe of community being together, we're in this together. We got to work on this piece. Is carried over into my life. And, it's really made me a better person and helped me to see how to navigate when people may be in challenging circumstances. They don't necessarily wave a flag to say, hey, I need help. But I'm very discerning of those kinds of spirits. So I feel like that's a gift for me.
Mm.
And I know
Mhm.
how to approach it usually, which is a gift too, I
I
feel.
love that. I love that because sometimes we don't know the right questions to answer. And like
Yeah.
having someone who's intuitive, I'm sorry, the right questions to ask. And having
Yes.
someone who's intuitive enough to give those answers because they see a void without making us feel less than, that's a
Correct.
talent too, is
Yes.
so important. What I love about you, not only do you, you know, with all of your expertise, like I'm having brain tongue tied,
That's
but with
okay.
all of your
That's all right.
expertise, I love it. And with all of your expertise, not only do you pour into your colleagues and those like who you might be directing, because you pour so much into us, and you left such an impact on me just as a performer, that spilled over into, personal life, not just, being on stage. And I
Right.
think that impact, I mean, it spread amongst everyone because we all have this really fond memory of you. So much that when I came to New York, I was like, I really hope that Judine has the time in her schedule to meet with me. And so then you
Girl,
came and met my friends and I at Red Roof over in Harlem. And I mean, all of my memories are just awesome. So you poured so much into us as artists. Um, Interesting enough, when I called you, you were in the process of going to shop for young girls who are working on a production of Dream Girls, right?
yeah. It was actually, I did a Broadway vignette, if you will, of a couple of numbers, and Dreamgirls was one of the numbers. However, there was such a large number of African American girls in the class that I couldn't just pick three girls. That's Dreamgirls is about these three ladies, as we know. And then
Mm-hmm.
I put them all in the number and figured out we're going to make this work and make it creative, and it came out really good. But more importantly, we had to find 9 dresses, and when I went looking for dresses and they pulled them from the costume departments in the school, they only came up with 6 that looked the same, and the other 3 could be another color. And I just thought, oh my gosh, this cannot happen. They have to have like the same shoes, they all have to have the same dress, because when an audience looks at that, it just becomes disjointed if it's not, if the costumes are not the same. It's something becomes broken in the piece for me as an artist when I'm looking on the stage. So when I'm putting something together, I was like, oh my goodness. And I ran back from West Palm Beach that day and went looking for dresses. Actually, the second day. The first day, I got the shoes because they couldn't, they're young high school students, 14, 15. They can't be in cha-cha pumps just yet. So I got them
Mm-hmm.
shoes. And what you were talking about is that I went to get them 9 dresses, and I found them and I shipped them to the school. I shipped them
Wow.
to the school,
And
and they
that just
feel
speaks to
great.
who you are as a person, that you are pulling from your own resources to impact our youth. And that's really what it's all about, because we had people to pour into us. Like, who would you say the most memorable person? Well, you said your neighbor and your siblings.
Yeah, my neighbor,
Is there
Serena,
anyone else that
she
you?
was the first dance teacher. My mother and my grandmother and the people at church. I grew up in a Pentecostal church and still attend that church via Zoom and sometimes in person. And that church family has given me everything. That's how I learned how to sing. You know what I mean? Like, it's given me a lot of support. And even though a lot of those mothers and deacons have passed, their children are there and their children's children are there now. So it's really something. I just have been in places where I know how it should be done.
Mm-hmm,
I know
mm-hmm,
how it
mm-hmm.
should be done. And when it's not done properly, I know where and whom I need to talk to about making it better. It's the way you do it.
Absolutely. And speaking of children, you are a mom. How do you find balance, with, especially in a busy city like New York, when there's so many outside influences? How do you find balance with career, reinventing yourself, and being a mom?
Um, like I said, like I feel blessed to have been in rooms where it was happening, right? So I think I'm like a sponge when it comes to getting the good while the getting is good. I've always been good like that. So when I see how people rehearse, when I see, their process, what they do, for me, it really helps me to put my own life in balance. You know what I mean? And it's a lot. It's ography at its best. And I also
Ography,
have
there it
a
is.
very
Y'all hear
ography
it?
at
We
its best.
love that word.
And so I enjoy what I do, right? That's my foundation. I love what I do. So whatever else is built on that is built on joy, is built on possibilities, is built on positivity, is everyday amazing, fabulous, and great, close to it for me. Yeah. So I will it to be that. I put things in place so that I could soar and balance, and with our son, and like you said, living in New York, it's a big deal. He Ubers a lot
It
everywhere.
is.
He doesn't get on that train right now, because the train when I grew up in the city is very different from the train that it is now.
In what way?
Well, it's not as safe as I feel it used to be.
It's not
And
as
for
what?
someone young, and sometimes, the kids with the phone is a big distraction. Everyone has it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And, someone could come on the train, doors closed, and you look up and somebody's right in your face. I mean, things have happened here in the last couple months that my spirit is saying, it doesn't matter how much. You going to basketball practice in Brooklyn, you got to come home. I'm working, your father's working, no one's here. You take the Uber home. You text me when you blah, blah, blah. Dad and I, we got this system going. So that's what we do. And we pay. You got to pay to play. That's okay. His safety is of utmost importance, and I'm born in the hood, and I know the element. Okay. I don't need books or, doctors or, people I know it. So let's not, if we can avoid that and go another way, let's do that until we can do it. He'll take the bus, he'll take the train at some time, but now's not the time. Now is not the time.
I like that. I like that. It does kind of, I'm not from New York, but when I've come there, I have taken a subway.
Mm-hmm.
But television kind of makes the subway look really scary, like some of the things I see.
It does. And I'm here, I'm born and raised here, and I've traveled the world, and I'm good. Like, I travel with Mace now in my pocket. I just do. You know what I mean? Because the mental illness here is a big deal. They're walking amongst us in Times Square. Like, this was before,
Mm-hmm.
but now it's happening, and it's just, an air of, they're not in the pockets of their lives. So they may do something that's impulsive that may kill somebody or maim somebody. You know what I mean? So I realize that the element is there, and I am just prepared. Someone gets on that train, in that car, and I think the vibe is not right. I just get out of the car and go to the next car, or get out of the subway and take a cab. Always have my mad money, as my mother would say.
Oh, I love it.
But
Absolutely. Absolutely. I did want to say that when we think of the sentence or the we are not a monolith, I feel like you are the best example of that. I feel like you show up as your full self, and you show, like, just your statement that I'm from the hood, okay? And
yeah.
then looking at your career, and then seeing all of your travels, it just is a demonstration of how layered we are, as Black people. You know what I'm saying? We can start at one point and we can go to another. And, we have varied experiences that make us complex and, just awesome. And so I just wanted to put that out there. I just wanted to say you are the definition of we are not a monolith.
Well, I appreciate that, but I'm working. I love working. How about that? I love working. I love helping people.
It
I
shows.
love, and my nephew has bipolar disorder, and I just went to visit him in Brooklyn at a mental health facility. You talk about you talk about just the realness of the realness. He's good. He's on his meds, you know. However, he's an awesome individual, and I love him. And I used to take him to Alvin Ailey when he was little, and I love him like my own. And you know, we had a heart-to-heart conversation. I've always been there for him, you know. And look at what we're talking about: mental illness. Everybody in their family has somebody, you know. It manifests at different times, and the most important thing is to make sure that you help them to advocate for themselves and to know the signs when they're not on meds, and to be in touch with the team, you know, the doctor, the psychiatrist, you know, all of those people, and reach out for help. They have a big initiative here in New York, Mental Health for All it's called, because they realize after this pandemic that, you know, these kids are just really not in touch, not in the pocket of their lives for whatever reason. And the young lady, the nurse that was on the ward with my nephew, said, we're seeing a lot of young people. It's sad. She said that to me, and I went, oh, God. You know, so my mother used to say, there by the grace of God go I. My mother used to always say that. So, you know, I'm happy to be a light for others and to help others. You know, it's not about being perfect. It's about being passionate. And it's about being true to who you are. I show up as myself. I'm happy that I can say that, and it brings me great joy to say that I'm from the projects, because I want people to know that you can come from the projects, you could come from the hood, you could come from wherever. It's not where you come from, it's where you're going. And if you allow it, where you come from will give you the power to go where you need to go. Everything I do, if I'm being honest with myself, stems from how I grew up from age 6 in the projects. We had reality shows and there were no cameras. There was the Peterkins, there were the Sesams. They had at least eight kids in their family each. And the dynamic, and families where the boys were gay, no one talked about it. We just knew who was who. No one said anything. No one explained anything. But we, you know, and I'm sure they were struggling. I mean, you know, it's crazy when I think about, you know, Lafayette Gardens, which is still there, by the way, in Brooklyn. Yeah. Very interesting. So mental wellness through the arts, I think, is one of the best ways to address the issues. Because if you notice, the LGBTQ community, when it comes to music and dance, theater and drama, they feel at home.
Absolutely.
You know, if they're
Absolutely.
anywhere else, they'll go to the drama team, they'll go to the chorus. That's where you know, that's why I'm hoping that, you know, I'm hoping that teachers, now that they're back in the room, you know, you can't, I feel, look, I am preparing to get my online degree in early childhood education. Like, I want to teach the babies when they class, you know, we have music playing, we have, you know, or I just want to make it a show. So you make learning fun, right? So,
Yes.
that to me is how you get it at the beginning, right? When Shaniqua and Daiqua are at 3 years old, they're born to a young mom who doesn't really know much. She's only going on what she knows. And then you see that. It's a lot of work. And teachers, I believe, have to think outside the box. You cannot do the textbook teaching. It never did work, but it really doesn't work now.
And listen, you know, speaking of how the arts impact us mentally and how we need to meet kids where they are, it's almost like, so let me tell you, when I started this work with Fine Arts, Fine Life, I've done a lot of professional development, right? And so they teach us like to make our voice subdued and calm the children and kind of talk to them, in a way of such. And so I go my very first session with the kids, and I'm in an urban space. We are all sitting in a circle, and I'm like, okay, guys, I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to connect with a tree. Think about a tree and and the kids, and something said, Michaela, open your right eye and look at these kids. I open my eye and look at the kids, and they all looking around at each other like, what the heck is going on here?
Yeah.
And I was just like, you know what? I need to bring my education and like all of my experiences and all of this to this space, but tailor it for the audience, that I'm trying to reach. And so we did some other activities where the kids really engaged and they enjoyed it. And I could see that they were pouring into the experience at that point. And I was like, okay, this is how I reach, and because again, we're not a monolith. It doesn't matter if I'm in an urban space or not. It's all about the energy and being able to adjust to the kids in that moment and in that space. So wonderful.
And kids
I want
know.
to see, huh?
And kids know when it's right and when it ain't right and when it's phony and when it's not. They know. So.
Oh, but they do, and they don't mind telling you.
They don't.
They'll let
Do
you
you
know.
know of the book, The Brilliance of Black Boys?
I don't.
Oh, Amazon, please order it today when you get off this call. The Brilliance of Black Boys. Magical book. I don't know why every teacher in America, regardless of your race and ethnicity, have not read this book. It is.
Is it for kids or adults?
No, adults. Adults.
Okay.
Yeah. And tell me what you think,
awesome.
Because I think the information in there, if that can be implemented into, school districts and school teachers, because we all come with a sense of implicit bias. We do. You know what I mean?
We do.
So it's really interesting that this is being acknowledged and how they're teaching. It was mind-boggling. But anyway, yes, the art.
I like that you mentioned implicit bias because even when we think, oh, well, I don't have implicit bias. I don't feel that way. Our actions can oftentimes say otherwise. And you really don't even have to say, you know what I'm saying? And just by virtue of what you grow up in and how things are, within your space of growing up, that's going to influence this implicit bias, even when you are intentional. So you have to be even more intentional about dismantling it, like those certain stereotypes or what have you. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's ask. So for those who don't know, let me also reset the space because, I can be all over the place and we've had a disconnect. So you guys are tuned in to Fine Arts, Fine Lives, Self-Care Sundays in the IG space. And I'm Michaela Moore, founder and executive director of Fine Arts, Fine Life, a nonprofit based in Birmingham, Alabama, that utilizes fine arts to influence and improve and impact the mental wellness of our youth, particularly youth from underserved communities. We were with Judine Somerville. Let me see here. I'm gonna get her back. We're with Judine Somerville, and she's logging back on. Hey,
That's
Judine. Okay. It's gonna be so interesting when we watch this back.
We are not still our joy, honey. He is a liar. Okay, that's
he is. And he's been trying today. But what he don't know is that little clip that from the first live, it will be posted. And this will be posted and shared and reshared. I did want to just acknowledge some of the people who logged on today, who some of them I'm going to invite. I want to be very respectful of your time. It's 5:39. I know I said like 30,
okay. We can
45
keep
minutes.
We can keep talking.
Okay. So we have Michael Charles on. Dr. Starks, hello, how are you? I want to scroll up. Will it let me scroll? Pose Lovers. Let me tell you, do you know Ryan Jamal Swain? He stars on Pose.
No, but he may
Okay,
know.
so he was our very first self-care Sundays, and that's how
Oh,
I got acclimated with Pose Lovers here. Pose Lovers is always so supportive. So
that's
let me
great.
see.
Billy Porter
Sharonda,
is a
there's
dear friend of mine.
Jordy. Sharonda was here. I know she just texted me and said that she had to log off, but she'll be back.
Okay,
Jeremy Jefferson is here. Let me see. I'm
Jeremy.
scrolling. And A Train is here. I don't see who else is here, but I did want to just acknowledge and shout out. Thank you guys so much for being here, because you, as the saying goes, you can be anywhere, but you're here with us. So I appreciate that. So Miss Judine, let me see here. What role? Here's something else I can always say I remember about you. You were extremely healthy. You ate really well. You're very cognizant of, your exercise routine. And because I can remember offering you something, I can't remember what it was, but you were like, "Oh no, honey, too many calories." And I was like, if I had that mindset, where would I be? So what role does health and fitness play in your life and career?
1,000%. 1,000%. Okay. What we feed ourselves is really important. And starting out as a dancer, that is the foundation, right? And I've been able to keep that path going with eating and exercise because A, it makes me feel great. B, if you're in this business and you are a certain way, the unwritten rule is that you must stay that way. That's the unwritten rule. They don't tell you that, but that's the unwritten. And you just want to be healthy, right? I just want to be healthy for myself. And because I have a family, I need to be doing what I need to do for myself so that I can do for my family and be in a great space while doing it, which I feel is really important. So it's 1,000%. I have a workout regimen that I do. And I love it. And even though sometimes I don't feel like going out and working out, but after I work out, I'm glad I did it. And the foods that I
It almost
eat.
feels like living in New York is a workout. I came there one summer. You
It is.
remember Malcolm? I mean,
Yeah.
here's Malcolm. We walked 4 blocks to go to the YMCA to work out. We walked 4 blocks back. I mean, like, I felt like my whole day was freaking walking. I was like, why do you even
Isn't
need
that?
to go to the gym? Like, we
Yeah,
had
it's
literally
funny.
walked all day.
Yeah, it's funny that you think like that coming from another state. I really appreciate that. However, as you ascend the ladder of fabulosity in life, there's certain things that begin to shift in your body. You know what I mean? And if you want to get on top of that and get ahead of that, one must realize how one's body operates and, you know, do the right thing by the body. Because if you
Mm.
don't, it'll get you. It will get you, and we've seen it. High blood, diabetes, arthritis, all those things, I believe, depending on what you come to the world with and how you see how your body is, then you start making those changes. It's not what I've always been eating. It's fine because I'm going to keep eating like that. I don't believe in that. I believe in shifting things and changing. And some people are not, they're not with the change. And it's work.
It is.
You know what I mean? It's work. You can't, and I, this last 6 weeks, have been a part of this amazing program at Mark Fisher Fitness in New York City, which is an amazing, magical place. We think of it, we are all ninjas, and not in the sense of like karate ninjas with like these outfits on. No, ninjas in the sense of we really do our best. And it is the most magical place for this part of my life to go with a community of people that are like-minded, that are working to be their authentic selves. We have like a 45-minute class that's like action-packed calisthenics and, you know, just all of those kind of exercises that address your body. And it's, I have to tell you, Michaela, it is the best money I have spent and will continue to spend, because they support you with not only the curriculum and high level of classes, it's the community, it's the emails, it's about, you know, mental wellness and, you know, your thought process and your connection to eating certain foods, how your emotions are involved. I mean, all the stuff, which, by the way, I never thought of. I never thought of that stuff. You know, I just did what I have to do. I did what I did. It worked fine. When it doesn't work, be brave enough, everybody who's listening, to change course. And I did it, and it's worked for me.
I love it.
And sometimes you have to go on the road alone, but you're never alone, because, you know, your higher being is always with you. Whatever you believe in is always with you.
Absolutely. I did want to remind people, so Judine was in the original cast of Hairspray on Broadway. She was a Dynamite, and most recently she did NBC's Hairspray Live. Were all the Dynamites original Dynamites then as well?
Yes. Dynamite Sisters were in full effect. Camila Marshall and Shayna Steele Cook. Yep. That was
wow. Hold on, let me see. Michael is saying he had to. Hold on. I want to have him come and join us.
Sure.
So mentioning that, and you mentioning the pressure to always stay the same, kind of makes me want to ask, did you ever feel pressure as a Black woman in the Broadway space?
I did not. You know, it's very interesting. You know, someone asked me about maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I did a master class, and it was a Q&A. And she said, asked, like, how are you as a Black woman navigating the space? And I've always navigated the space authentically.
You're going out.
Am I going out? Can you hear me now?
I can.
So I just think that I was always doing my best, right? And really didn't move through the space as I'm a Black woman. I have to be honest about that. I wasn't white, never tried to be white, never tried to be like the establishment. I represented myself. Therefore, I felt I represented us. That's how I felt. I wasn't the one to say, well, it's only me. It would only be like 2 of us in a production when I first started out. Myself and another African-American guy, and that would be it. Now, was I the person to go to management and go, why aren't they hiring other Blacks? I wasn't like that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It didn't speak to me in that way. However, what I feel I did is that I represented myself well. So that next person of color that would be coming up behind me, dealing with those same people, would have a fair shot. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You
And
laid down the foundation.
that's how I
You
felt.
showed up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you are like, again, I told you, like, you are a demonstration of the fullness of the Black experience and our backgrounds and who we are. And absolutely, absolutely. Well, I want to take this moment. I think Michael might have logged back on. Michael, if you're here, Shronda, Jeremy, I think there's some, if you guys are here. I know, look, so this is your surprise. I told you I had a surprise for you. Where are they? I know some of them had rehearsals today.
Of
So,
course, on the Sunday, honey.
yes. And if you look, Michael posted cookie butter. When we did Dream Girls together back in, I did it a second time. Man, so I discovered cookie butter.
Carolyn Violi.
Oh, Carolyn, send a request, Carolyn, to join us. You guys are Judine's surprise. But I discovered cookie butter during that production. Oh my God. But like we would just get a scoop of cookie butter. Oh my gosh, it was so good. Oh, and then I was eating it with plantains. I gained so much weight. Oh my gosh. I'm like, Nicola, listen, cookie butter is of the devil. So stay away from it. That's what I have to tell myself. It is of the devil. Join us, Carolyn.
I think she joined.
No. I need her to send a live request. I mean a join request. Like, so here's the thing. I started a group that we perhaps could include you in, but I was saying, hey, I'm going live with Judine at 5:00. You guys log on so that, I'll give a moment and a space for you to submit a request, and then you can say hi. And that's going to be like her surprise. But then we got a little long-winded. A couple of people said they had to go. Carolyn.
But the fact that you set that up is the thought that counts. That's all that matters. And we can do a Zoom call at some point too,
Absolutely. They like, everybody admires you. You left such an impact. I love you.
Oh, I love you like a sister, and you look fabulous, honey. That hair, killer, honey. Yeah.
Okay, well, listen, I don't want to take up any more of your time. I did want to say thank you so much for the gems you've dropped today, for your time, for sharing your experience, for just always being you and showing up as your authentic self and just pouring into other people. Because not only is it impactful for us, but it's influential for us to see you, a woman of such character and stature, live your life in such a way. You kind of are, like we said, the answer to questions we didn't even know we had. And you give us approval to move in such a way. And so I just thank you so much. And I can't wait till the next time I'm in New York. I actually came there, but I came there a few years ago. I performed at Carnegie Hall. Remember Malcolm?
Yes.
Remember Malcolm? Yes. So Dr. Malcolm.
Yes.
Dr. Malcolm, he like performed with, what is it? I don't want to pronounce them incorrectly. Dessoff choirs. They're performing at the Met Gala, at the Met Museum, like soon. Oh yeah, Malcolm does some of everything. And so Joe, I always mispronounce the last name, Joe Haisi. It's not Haisiasi. I think it's Saishi. He is a Japanese film composer. He was he did a presentation of music at Carnegie Hall, and Malcolm invited me to be a guest vocalist with his choir, the Brooklyn Conservatory.
Oh,
And I might be butchering a couple of things. But it was a beautiful experience.
Oh,
but like our schedule was consumed the entire time. So we went from rehearsals. It was just a little space, and we were there for like 2 days. So I was like, I just have to get on this time. But yeah.
Well, thank you for having me.
Oh, wait. Mike is here. There is a Mike. It's a different Mike. Mike, send the request. I'm almost scared to. Oh, there he is. There he is. Let me see. Let's see if he's here.
3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Oh my God, Mike! I love it. How you doing?
Hey, Judine, I'm good. How you doing? Hey, Kella.
Oh my gosh.
How's everybody doing?
Good. How are you?
You know, it's so great. Oh my gosh.
Mike, you're buffering. No. Oh, wait. He sent another request. Hold on. I guess this is a different device. And Carolyn asks, I don't know, where do you go if you were going to send a request? Because
if you go, it's usually down on the right-hand side of your phone. It just comes up on the screen and it says request, join to request, and you just click the.
Oh, but you only see that when you first log on, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
you would maybe go back to going live with you. Maybe they refurbish it again and go back in.
Yeah, like so log back in, and you'll see the prompt at the bottom right.
Yes. Yep.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
I hope. Oh wait, there's Mike. I think this is Mike. Is this? I don't know if it's a new request or the old request. I don't know. Oh, there it is.
There we go. Hello. How are you ladies doing?
So good.
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 Even better now that we see you.
Oh my God. You have no idea. Judine, I haven't seen you since Ailey.
How many years was that?
This is probably 4 years ago was the last time I was at Ailey.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
And Michaela, I don't even want to talk about it with you. Married and everything. Get out of here.
I know, right?
And listen, what's even more crazy is are you back in Birmingham, Mike?
I came back here from New York back in right at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of 2021.
Due to the pandemic.
And New York was just not it for me anymore during the pandemic.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I mean, like the most work I was getting was walking dogs on the Upper East Side. You know, it was very, very difficult. So I came back to Alabama, and I've been doing a little bit of work at Red Mountain Theater Company, and then I went over to Georgia. I just finished doing Donkey and Shrek over at an opera house in Georgia. So I just got back to Birmingham last week, actually.
Nice.
Booked and blessed, honey.
Amen.
Yes.
What's up?
Well,
everything is good. Life is good. I'm rocking and rolling and auditioning, mostly for TV and film. That's the goal. And then mentoring college students through Open Jar Institute, which is great. And teaching master classes around the country and going to performing arts high schools and choreographing, which is really cool.
And Judine, I've been keeping up with you. Look, I've been keeping up.
Look, I told her. So I remember when we had dinner that you said that you told us you had something a really big project coming up. you couldn't tell us right then, but you will be able to tell us and share in due time. And then I saw that NBC was announcing that the cast for Hairspray Live, and I was like, oh, this is what she was talking about. How we're being fabulous and great. I mean, I tell her all the time how much we love her and how like you impacted us in a very major way.
You know, it was so incredible because I think a lot of times when you get people from LA or New York or wherever they come from to come to Birmingham, Alabama and work on material, you don't get it for a Black show. You know, you don't get these experiences for just a Black musical or you know, that's hard to come by. You get them for big production shows like Hairspray or like you know, Sound of Music or something like that. You know what I mean? So that experience to have somebody like you, who, you know, you grew up in New York, right, Judine? You know, you grew up watching all of these different walks of life as a Black woman, and then to come to a state where those people didn't see that, and we are still very much like, there's still so much obvious racism in front of our face here. It's no melting pot, you know? So that experience, I think, for a young Black man, I mean, when we did that, I was very young. And you taught me a lot. Working with you and working on those numbers taught me a lot, now as a dancer and a choreographer. And I'm just so blessed that, you know, you came and worked on that project with us. You really opened our eyes to a lot of different things.
And you know what else? I think you really showed us how to work with what we had, because, you know, there were, I'm trying to see because Carolyn is trying to relog on. She like texts me. But yeah, there were some obstacles within that production that, you know, just don't necessarily have to be spoken about in this space, but they were there nonetheless. And like, we were determined that we were not going to allow all of our hard work just to be in vain. And so we pieced together a show that was supposed to be for, oh, I'm sorry, Carolyn, I'm trying to get you back. She asked, was it on IG or Facebook? I'm so sorry. I'm trying to respond, but yeah, a show that was supposed to have a full-on set. We took a minimalistic approach and made it everything, you know, and it's like,
Wait, after Judine and I had went back to New York, though, Kelly, you guys put on the show here somewhere, right?
We did. We did it in the cabaret space at Red Mountain Theater. Yep.
Good.
Because
The story still needs to be told. Let's be real.
It was a powerful show. Hold on. Let me do Caroline. Ooh, Caroline. I think you're gonna miss the boat. I don't want you to miss the boat, but the train's gonna be oh no. And the train gonna be gone, Caroline. Caroline.
You know what we could do? We can organize a Zoom call one night. That'll be the best thing, I think, so that we can all, you know what I mean? I've done that with some casts, and it ends up being really a better deal. But this was amazing for a plethora of reasons. But I received everything. But you guys were really great and receptive, too. I mean, everybody was bringing their A game. And when they didn't know, they let me know that they didn't know, which I thought was so sweet. So it was a great, you know, collaboration. And, you know, everybody was leading with their best. You know, everybody, whether they had technique or not, whether you danced or not, you know, the way that you took the information and the way that you know, laid it out was fabulous. And that was for everybody, because everybody was at different levels. Like, everybody was at different levels.
Yeah, and all,
you know, so. And
let me insert this. Michael Charles Michael Charles, send the request.
Look, I gotta run because it's my niece's birthday party.
All right,
Yes,
Mike. I
honey,
love
go
you.
with
I,
you.
lo-
Favorite uncle. Love
I
you more.
love you guys so
Let
much.
me know if I
Okay,
can do it.
bye.
All right,
Thank you so
sweetie.
much,
Let me know if
Judine.
I
I'll
can
talk
do
to you
anything.
soon. Bye, guys. Bye,
Holla.
Kella.
All right, bye. Judine, your phone is going in and out, so I think that's why he didn't hear you. Michael Charles, oh, there it is. Now he is the hold on. All right, we have one more Michael joining.
Hi.
Oh,
Happy
Michael.
Halloween, Diva.
Right. And
Yes, happy
this
Halloween.
Michael,
Oh my gosh.
this Michael was in high school when we did the production. He is now a choreographer with is it Alabama Dance Foundation?
I'm with a lot of different studios, but I'm also like back to doing professional theater now. Like now that theater's back open, I'm back to doing professional theater. So right now I'm at the Palace Theater in New Hampshire.
You're where?
Yeah.
I'm in New Hampshire
New
at the
Hampshire.
Palace Theater doing Mamma Mia.
Oh,
Yes,
Michael. Well, listen, just make sure your behind is back in Birmingham. So, Judine, I want to share with you some of the programs and things that we have coming with. I wrote my first grant. And so some of the programs we have coming with FAFL, he's going to be our dance instructor. So we have four different pieces to, it's called Arts for Expression. And there are four different components. Four different components. One is West African dance and singing, and I have those instructors in place. Drama for expression, dance for expression, as well as arts and crafts and painting. And so he is our dance instructor. It's called moving away from moving into what is it? Moving away from anxiety, I think is what it's called. So it's dancing.
I think that is what you call it.
As a result, you're moving away from anxiety. So yeah.
That's great. Oh my God. That is fantastic. I'm so proud of you guys. I love the name. I love everything.
It's with the YMCA Youth Center here in Birmingham. So yeah, they're one of our partners.
Oh my God, Absolutely. It's so great to see you.
It is so good to see you. I can't wait to like see you like before I move to New York and things. And like I'm super close to you. I was literally just in New York a few days ago. Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, I was. And then you said what?
Holla when you come back again.
I'll probably come back within the next week or so.
All right. Well, let me know if you're here. Michaela has all my information.
All right. Well, Michael, thank you so much for joining.
Great.
Who is this? Hello, keep me posted on the next time you go virtual.
I love you guys so much. It's my birthday. I'm doing birthday celebration things. I will talk to you guys later.
All right, Michael, thank you. I love you so much.
Bye. Thank you.
Enjoy tonight and be safe. All right. So, Judine, thank you so much.
You're welcome. I will connect. Let me know in any way I can be of service. Just call me and let me know.
Absolutely.
And thank you for getting
I love you. Of course.
It's nice seeing everybody.
I love you.
And look,
and
they're fabulous.
All right, thank you. You
and
too.
And tell your husband he's lucky. He's lucky.
I will. Oh.
Okay. Love you, girl.
I love you. You have a great evening. Good night.
You too, honey.
Hey guys, thank you so much. Is this Kaylee? This is Kaylee. Y'all, one of my current students is logged on. Hey, Kaylee girl. She is so sweet. Wait, who is this? That girl. Oh, and I love them. I love them. She loves to give me a hard time, but I love her so much. Um, Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Fine Arts, Fine Life. Thank you so much for supporting the organization. I want to go back up and see who somebody said. This is Lavondia. Lavondia, I connected with someone who's within your dance company who is now going to be our West African dance and singing instructors. So wow, awesome. I'm so happy you logged on. I hope you guys can go back to, I am going to save this live, Kaylee. Thank you so much. Y'all, and she's so sweet. She's funny, she's sweet, she's everything. I love you, girl. I am going to save it. I'm going to post it, even though we got interrupted and had to relog on. Yes, this is Miss Moore from Putnam. I'm now Miss Moore Harris. Well, really, it's Miss Harris, but everybody accidentally. Oh, who is that girl? Somebody's about to get somebody's about to get blocked. She said I'm mean. But anywho, guys, again, thank you so much for supporting. I would love to connect with you or reconnect with you, Latifa. So yeah, absolutely, guys. You guys have a great evening. Oh, and congratulations, you're Mrs. Smith now. Congratulations. You know, that's both of us. Okay, but thank y'all so much for logging on. Thank you for supporting. Y'all have a good evening. And I will connect with you, Latifa. All right, guys, good night. Let's find the end button here. I always do this.